stay a while and listen.
All right. It sounds like everybody's ready to do this, right?
Yes!
You need more Smurfs music? If we're going to get into talk... Anyway. Yeah, we might get some Smurfs later. Hi. TalkRadar 169. Mm-hmm. We're started. I'm Chris Antista. Who else do we have in the show today?
This is Henry Gilbert saying hi to all my fans.
Man, stop talking over me. This is Tyler
Don't
Nagata.
let them know we're reading the criticism. And who else do we have?
And Matt Keys.
Yeah. I didn't I don't have a good Matt sound effect. Oh, give me.
Matt's a reader. Reading
I do. I like reading.
All right, you like reading and writing, ladies and gentlemen. Matt Keys. Anytime you talk about a book. So before we get ready to start this thing with a
3, 2, 1, Smurf.
Smurf. I'll stop talking about the Smurfs.
What's up? Brett and Michael are away on assignment.
Yeah, on assignment. But we have tons of stupid crap to talk about today. Maybe some game deals. I haven't readied them yet. But we have a top 7, Nintendo heavy top 7, so Henry will be helping me out with that.
I'll do my best.
Tyler Nagata has seen Diablo 3.
I played it.
Played Diablo 3, and Matt Keast has reviewed a whole bunch of crap and seen, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Matt, we will be...
We're going to Dead Island.
I said I'd never play that.
Really?
I hate that stupid song. That scene was shot of us on the boat singing that song because we got to the dock and the boat didn't work. So we what are we gonna do? We'll sing a song about going to Dead Island while dancing on the boat.
It was a great scene.
It was a great.
I love it.
Yeah, it was a great.
It's a great way to start episode 2. When really, originally, I was planning to be the end of episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was better. Also, without that scene, like episode 2, which is the shortest one, would be 10 seconds shorter as well. Anyway,
10 seconds shorter. Yeah. Yep.
I've seen better.
Jesus, you haven't seen any of the episodes. But here's an all-new episode right now. This is my favorite fucking episode. Tyler Wilde will win an Emmy or an Oscar or whatever the hell they nominate internet viral advertorial videos for. Tyler Wilde will win one of those.
I hope he wins a Webby.
Here. A Webby?
The Webby.
Win Webby.
Yeah. I think he might be the best actor of the group. No
Thanks,
offense,
Hank.
You did a good job.
Makeup,
I don't know. Michael was pretty good.
Yeah, well, he's got the beard.
He was the star of the trailer.
Easy for him.
Which award do you think is less real, the Webby or the Grammy?
The Grammy.
Ooh.
The Grammy. Did Bieber win a Grammy? If Bieber won a Grammy.
He must have. Oh, remember when all the Bieber fans got mad that Arcade Fire beat Justin Bieber for Album of the Year last year?
I wonder if the blog still exists of who the hell is Arcade Fire.
Right. Yeah. Somebody on Twitter asked us to talk about our music choices.
I begged people for Twitter to give me some music choices because I haven't listened to music.
Well, man, what have you been listening to?
I'm not ashamed.
Not that song?
I'll tell you about the girly music I've been listening to. I've been listening to Adele's latest album.
Oh, that's great. She's great.
It's fantastic.
Or one of those, the name of the song?
She's got so much
Rolling in the Deep is really good.
Rolling in the Deep. Yeah.
Have you heard Adele, Chris?
I have. Just not great. This song. Oh, is that her? She looks like Clarissa from the side.
Yeah, that's her.
Man, she's soulful.
Yeah.
See, what makes her a legitimate artist is that she's fat.
Yeah, exactly.
I see.
Right?
That's right.
She had to overcome that.
Right.
So you can't even sex
I'm
her
always
up.
suspicious of beautiful women that are singers because I'm like...
How much of you is manufactured?
Yeah, exactly.
How much you was on the soundboard?
Yeah, man.
Well, you know what I was listening to, and the one I suggested to you, Chris, was Fucked Up's David Comes to Life.
I got that, but I really stole it, and apparently you took issue with that.
All right, here's my issue.
What's that, Hank?
Its label is not a giant label. It's Matador, like one of the the longest lived indie labels out there that puts out great music.
Which is
Matador. Come on, Matador.
I've heard of him.
I've heard of Matador. Isn't that Madonna's label?
No. Okay. You ever bought an album by Pavement, by Built to Spill, or one? I
don't have to. That's why we have college radio stations.
Jeez Louise. Well, anyway, Fucked Up's David Come to Life is really cool because it's it's basically a concept album, sort of. It's a musical, but it's also, well, it tells a story like a musical would, but it's all like punk. It's super punk, and it's awesome.
Awesome. But you don't want me to steal it.
No, fine, steal it. Just go to, when Fucked Up comes to town, maybe they go to their show if you like them.
Remember what happened to last time? You here, take this music off my iPod. Oh, I can't, because this DRM still exists, and it's locked to your device and your profile.
That's why I buy Amazon MP3s.
Yeah, fine. But I don't, and I'm not going to. And I just asked for all these people's music recommendations, so I literally was downloading everything.
Yeah, you were using it like the radio.
Yes, I just wanted to hear some stuff, and I wanted whole albums too. I don't want a single. I want to listen to a whole album. I miss whole albums because I'm old. Oh, I did discover this week before we get into stupid top 7 that we accidentally wrote. Teen Nick has started airing all its 90s shows.
Yeah,
late at night. That's why Keenan and Kel is trending every day on Twitter.
Yeah,
and Clarissa Explains It All. Somebody discovered this. They took it down. Never mind.
Well, why don't we just reenact that clip?
No, it was just like, fuck you, Clarissa. I'm going to watch Cowboys and Aliens. Boom, from 1994.
That's what Ferguson said.
Oh, get the fuck out of here, Ferg breath. Okay, no
Ferg face.
All right, we'll pick up the energy in a second.
Anybody else? Nobody else in here watched? You didn't watch Clarissa Explains It All?
That was like 29 when that show came out.
That's
right?
Not nice.
Thanks, Maddie. I mean, that's the one I meant to hit. We'll just do the top 7 then.
All right.
If no one wants to talk about
Tyler,
Clarissa.
you didn't talk about your music.
Oh, I've been listening to a lot of MOP, hip-hop band.
What?
Like them a lot.
Okay.
If you remember that kind
MOP.
of popular Bert and Ernie sketch where they're like rapping.
Yeah.
That's MOP.
About the
Dash Out Posse.
Who wants to talk about the top 7? No! I guess that wasn't really a response.
That's becoming a regular sound effect.
If I'm not going to dig around and actually try to find new bits of stuff, I'll find some Nintendo appropriate stuff. Can you read me along? What is the headline of this top 7? Because I don't remember.
This week's top 7 is topical. The top 7 ways Nintendo can save the 3DS. Lowering the price, a good first step, but we've got 7 more. That's
is it really?
Yeah.
What I said, the 3DS ain't no POS. That's
good too. Yeah, I remember we workshopped that one.
We did. By workshop usually means I turn on a different voice and pitch things that can't possibly be straplines. So I'm of no help.
I like when strapline pitching is really just saying things you never want it to be.
Yeah, and then
you can't think anything good. I do that. But so, number 7, should we start? Well, I guess we
should preface it with all the news.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. That's one of the problems with recording a Friday podcast on Wednesday. The giant news can happen on a Thursday, and we can't talk about it till Tuesday. That's every day of the week when we record on Monday.
I'm confused.
I need a calendar.
I'm confused.
Well, anyway, so on Thursday, Nintendo had the crazy news that they were going to drop out of nowhere. Something I think none of us could have predicted. They're cutting the price starting August 12th on the 3DS from $250 to $169 in America, and with equivalent price cuts everywhere else.
Which, if Brett were here, he would explain how unprecedented this is for a Nintendo console to cut its price this early in its lifespan. Right?
I believe on the 3DS launch, on the podcast around the 3DS launch, me and you were talking, or at least I said, well, I'm just going to buy it now because they're not going to cut the price for another year and a half or so I may as well pay full price. But honestly, I think their free
apology deal is
those apologies are way better than.
Is it 20 games I get now?
You get 20 games, 10 NES games, and 10 GBA games. And the GBA games are a really good deal in my opinion.
Do we know what those are?
We know 10. We know 5 of each.
What's
Mario, Ice Climbers, Donkey Kong Jr., Balloon Fight, and The Legend of Zelda. Those are the 5 of the 10 NES games announced.
Nice.
GBA games, Mario Kart Super Circuit, Mario vs. Donkey Kong, Yoshi's Island, WarioWare Mega Micro games, and God damn it,
something like Camelot.
Don't
navigate away from the page.
It's on the second page. Wait, I know it. It's I don't know it. I'm cheating. Metroid Fusion, the best one of the group.
That's right, yeah.
But anyway, so
free games for everybody stupid enough to buy a 3DS early when everybody told you about the battery life and lack of launch games.
So there's a lot of problems with the 3DS, and this price cut is addressing one of them.
Yes.
But we thought of at least 7 more problems they need to fix.
Thought of and this was originally written as like a top 10 or something like that, and we fashioned it into a top 7. This was one of the reasons that Nintendo seemed to think it was the 3DS was competitive with smartphones, an iPhone or an Android, because it was an internet-capable gaming device. But it's not a browser. You won't make a phone call on it.
And it's only Wi-Fi, not 3G.
You won't check your emails. So it's not priced competitively for $50 off. It's just a dedicated gaming machine with some internet options.
Well, and that was Nintendo assuming they understand the internet.
Exactly, which I think that should have been like our top 7 should have been one big entry of like, no, Nintendo doesn't understand the internet. Here's why. 7 reasons. So what's number 7?
Number 7 is lower the price of games, which is they really do charge.
Yes.
When they launch, the games cost $40. A normal price game is $40 on the 3DS.
And that's when you knew it was getting embarrassing. That like last week, Toys R Us was like, buy one get one free, please, people, just buy these shitty 1-hour games that nobody wants.
Yeah.
That we actually had the balls to ask $40 for it, and we still found it. Like when this was written, Monkey Ball on the iPhone was 99 cents. It has more levels than the 3DS version, which is $40 fucking dollars.
Yeah,
$40 SRP, and I was pissed that we had to erase it. And like, but no, Charlie, don't change it to $3, even though that's just because that's what the price is in the iPhone store now. That's more evidence of like what the 3DS does wrong, is that Nintendo will set a price for something and never lower the price.
Well, you can say it at the time of writing.
I know, but at the time of writing, we're just like, but it's like Gabe Newell's, whenever he talks about Steam, like the key to it is non-static prices, like prices that fluctuate, deals that move around, that spread the word about your game. Every time Nintendo does something like this, or their Wii at least, every NES game is $5. Excite Bike, $5. Urban Champion, $5. Super Mario 3, $5. Like those aren't worth the same.
Yeah,
and some of them should go on sale, and at least some of the Game Boy games actually at least have different prices. Donkey Kong is worth more than Kicks because it is.
They were getting more fluid prices.
prices.
With the Game Boy games and the Virtual Console. And it's definitely with the original games created for WiiWare and DSiWare, of what few worthy ones exist, those are more flexible prices, but they never cut the price.
Yep.
Now PlayStation, like Sony and Microsoft, are understanding that sales are a good way to drum up excitement and business, and it's just smart business.
Yes. But especially after you sell through your stock.
Yeah.
Hey guys, collectors want another version, a second printing.
Well, I think Nintendo also, like, they have such a high opinion of their stuff. They can't charge. Like
we wanted to add that too. They added those DS Greatest Hits line, including a launch DS game from what year?
2005.
2005, Mario 64 DS. They lowered the price $4 in all that time.
Yeah,
I can't
for a game that's not worth $20.
The hubris, the hubris.
Nah, I couldn't believe. Well, I bought that Monkey Ball game in launch, and like I just assumed.
Really?
Yeah, well, because I just assumed like Sega always they always put out a Monkey Ball game in launch on stuff, but they're super deep and have tons of stuff in them. Like, yep, they fell out this time.
Yes, total fallout.
All right.
But yeah, this one I finished the whole single player real Monkey Ball game in like just a single 1 hour sitting, and there were a bunch of shitty multiplayer games after that, and then maybe some hidden banana type shit. What's number 6? Lower the price of your games is all we're saying.
Number 6. Don't depend on 3D.
3D will not save you. 3D will not save you. And we were trying to find the perfect article about the movie industry. Like just today, the stock price of real 3D, one of the primary 3D retro majiggers, I believe they're called, for Hollywood.
That's the technical term.
It is. Gamorbo would know better. But yeah, their stock prices fell like 16% because I think last year when Hollywood was reporting, record box office numbers, like that's because prices.
People were paying $4.
People were paying $3 to $5 more for a 3D movie ticket. So this year, Hollywood or the movie theaters extended, like we have like now we have half and half. 50% of the movies first weekend are 3D and 2D, and the choice has been made clear by the public that I think 30% of them opt for the more expensive 3D option.
Yeah,
it's no longer new. It's no longer very exciting.
Well, but there's another better explanation for that.
What's that?
Most of the 3D movies are these hastily cobbled together,
Sure.
post-production things that I've never actually watched one, but I heard they look terrible. They look like
Well, they're
pop-up
just so
books or something.
well. They're
I
just
watched
so
one,
dark,
but then like
too.
every 3D movie I've ever seen, period. Wow. 20 minutes later, I just forget. I don't even know I'm watching a 3D movie.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter at all.
That's because like James Cameron made Avatar specifically to be
Yeah.
3D, like he intended to do it. But that's expensive and takes a lot of forethought, and
Mm-hmm.
they'd rather just film something in 2D and then be like, let's do it in 3D
I think
now.
of most of the live action movies, none of them were shot in 3D, right?
Well, it bothers me now
Maybe
that like
Pirates?
there's been enough time since Avatar came out that like I can understand retrofitting stuff for 3D within a year after Avatar, but now I think we're close to 3 years afterwards. These films we're watching now were produced in a post-Avatar world, or at least filmed.
But I think Transformers 3 was filmed with 3D in mind.
Oh, it was.
That's why there were some compliments that like it caused Michael Bay to slow the fuck down and actually like
he
focus on a
edited
scene.
more slowly.
just show what shit looks like for once.
Just from the trailer, I'm like, I saw the arm of a robot. Like, I've never seen that before during a fight. It normally just looks like a Katsumari ball of fucking mangled metal rolling around.
And then they cut no cut lasts for more than 5 seconds.
Yeah. And
I said, boom, cut, boom.
I haven't seen the new movie, but the trailer was like, why does this look more exciting to me now? I
It
think
didn't trick me. I didn't go see it either.
I'm sure it
almost
sucks.
tricked me. Also, twice this year when I'm bringing up my mom again on the podcast.
No.
But anyway, when she came to town,
always
like
bring up your mother.
we went out and
Be
saw.
like Margaret Cho.
How dare you! I never want to be like Margaret Cho.
That's right. My Henry is nothing like Margaret Cho.
So 2 times we went out and saw
Francisco.
movies, and I said, all right, let's go see this. This is the best time to see it. And then we get there, it's the 3D time. Like it's both times 3D, and I just had to be like, God damn it, and just like I had to swallow it and just.
And we're not snobs.
Go
We just
see.
don't like the 3D version.
Yeah, well, it's like when I saw Captain America, it was noticeably darker, much darker.
Yeah, noticeably
Same.
darker. And I always remember Superman Returns is like, it was only partially in 3D. And something about the process of trying to remember the movie, like hours later. The parts that were in 3D, I didn't remember very vividly. Maybe because of the color, maybe because like it's 2 images in my brain trying to come together to create one memory. I don't know. Like it didn't make for a memorable experience as a result
And
of being in 3D.
I don't even remember Toy Story 3 in 3D. Like I saw it in 3D, but
You've forgotten in an instant. Like
Yeah.
it was just over. Who cares? 3D won't save you. And then Nintendo, to its credit, they've said that like 3D isn't going to make your games better. It can enhance certain games. Yes, 3D is not going to save us. And they haven't played up that fact too much outside of like instances of the advertising.
yeah.
I turned it off after about 2 hours of playing, and
hurts my eye.
I've turned it on a few times just to be like, trying to enjoy the 3D effects on the 3DS.
Do you
and I
remember
just-
which game?
Yeah, it was Wind Waker.
Wind Waker?
Yeah,
What? You mean
Or,
Ocarina?
yeah.
That was the only... I played a couple of games, and I do like the 3D effects in Ocarina.
Yeah, but you still got to kind of hold it at a.
You
know.
can't move the system at all.
Yeah,
And I remember Pilot Wings, like,
I just want to turn it off.
trying to fly between rings, and I'm moving the system just enough to where I can't see if the 3D's on. It'll throw everything out of whack. Henry's yawning.
Nope. No, man.
Yeah, Ocarina is pretty boring.
I'd like to say that I'm actually against the grain and that I really like 3D.
I'm not saying there's not a purpose for it, but it just...
What do you think
can't-
about 3D TVs?
Blech.
Well, I'm not going to pay for one if it's super expensive, and I don't want to wear stupid glasses in my house.
But he's all for it. Because Matt is living in the future.
Well, like for instance, like when I reviewed Crisis 2, I played the entire game in 3D. And like I tried comparing, I turned off the 3D and played it that way, and like I really wanted to go back into 3D.
Were
Like,
you
it
using
bothered me that it was gone.
Were you using like NVIDIA 3D Vision, or were you using PlayStation 3 stuff?
No, it was on a 360.
Oh.
It was a 3D TV with the glasses. Like, yeah.
Well, I know.
Hi, Gary!
I know,
Okay.
Tyler. You played.
Are you going to come in? Gary's trying to come in. No, he's not trying.
I know, Tyler.
Just open the door for...
You played Batman: Arkham Asylum in 3D, didn't you?
Hi, Gary.
For a little bit.
Are you going to come say hi?
Yeah.
This mic is available.
I mean, does anyone really want to sit there with their head held at the perfect angle?
No.
Not able to move, not able to adjust their eyes.
I found comfortable positions with my 3DS, but I really have to be dedicated to not moving for a while and enjoying the 3D experience, which is kind of not how I play portable games.
You don't want
Right.
to get deep vein thrombosis.
I mean, so much. Yeah. Well, okay.
Deep Say it again.
That's what that guy died from.
Right,
Deep brain
sitting
thrombosis?
still.
But he was
Bane.
playing Xbox, and there's no 3D on Xbox.
Yeah.
Don't mix
That's
up
not
your
true.
gaming.
There's 3D on Xbox.
I was just saying how I played through Crisis 2 on the 360
I
and
don't believe
3D.
it.
They're not playing it up. The Blob 2, which I reviewed for AtGamer, like had a 3D option on the 360 that I couldn't use, so I did talk about it.
You need to let go of that console bias, Gary.
Yeah, Gary.
What?
Hey, you want to hang up here with the big boy?
You're multi-platform now.
Yeah. Yeah, you multi-platform. Swing, baby.
Being beat up here.
No, you're not. Hi, Gary. How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm tired.
Want to tell the people anything?
No.
No?
I mean, I'm still horrified by Henry's confession in the last TalkRadar, his feelings that came out.
Oh,
his
racism?
Strong feelings, yeah, about a certain class of people that don't really belong in his world.
Who was that British people?
No, well, it was brought up in relation to a Brit who was living somewhere that Henry.
I was mocking the South, yes.
I remember now.
You are mocking the South, man. You are hurting the South. You are hurting everybody who comes from there, and just
I'm from the South.
Yeah. You totally General Sherman this whole podcast. with that comment.
I'm a Southerner. I can.
I mean,
say
I was
these
horrified.
things.
I was telling you guys, it was Sunday afternoon. I'm home alone. I'm trying
Strangely listening to our podcast.
Yeah, I'm in the kitchen. I'm chopping onions and frying up chickpeas, trying to make a healthy dinner, and then I hear this racist invective,
This tirade.
and it just derailed every yogic bit of healthfulness that I tried to get into, and I had to turn to, as they say, drogos.
From Game of Thrones? Khal Drogo? No? All right, Maddie laughed. I'll take that one.
Yeah.
Oh, look what you did, Hank.
In
Just
order
to feel
to
better.
ameliorate the pain.
You turned Gary to aspirin.
You didn't know if the onions or the comments were making you cry.
I was crying now, yeah. It was okay, I have to continue doing stuff that I was doing. Bye.
Bye, Gare.
Bye, Gare Bear.
Bye, Gare. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Gary
So yeah, 3D
Stein.
sucks.
3D sucks. What number are we? Number 5.
Number
Fuck, it's hot.
5. All right, number 5. Update
Ow.
Street Pass.
Update Street Pass. Fucking please.
Yeah, man, everyone finished Street Pass like the first month, and it was so much fun. Find
guys
me
did.
and the puzzle
You can
pieces.
finish it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get all the hats and you can get all the puzzle pieces.
I mean, we say I had to put slash in there. Street Pass / Me Plaza, where you street pass up with people and you meet people to take into the dungeon and get cool hats and puzzle pieces. These guys all got it launch day and were like infatuated with it. I got mine a month later. Like, guys, you ever going to turn your 3DS on and do this again? Like, no, we're all done. We don't need to. But I desperately needed people to come in and play with me. Then I went to E3. It was an extravaganza because you can only meet 10 people at a time.
Well,
but,
what
like,
about, didn't you get a bunch at Cal Extreme?
I did. I got a bunch at Cal Extreme, but like crowded places. But like these guys were done, so didn't leave the feature on because there was no incentive.
every
to.
person in Future with a 3DS traded
finished
like
already.
in the first 2 weeks, and it was like the best. Maybe because the launch lineup sucked so bad, but it was the best thing about the 3DS at launch. Like, it was so much fun.
For me, this is one of the most engrossing social games I've ever played because there actually is a legitimate game element in addition to be like, I've been here, I've been there. I went to Nintendo, turned my Street Pass on, and I got like Nintendo executives in there with their cool hats. And
Nintendo,
then I
really-
could bring them into a dungeon and fight for me, and it was cool.
Nintendo really dropped the ball by not updating this. Like, after the first few months, they should have had
Yes.
updates down the pike. Instead.
And what do you trade? Puzzle pieces. How many there's what? 16 puzzle pieces in a fucking puzzle. Then you get to view a 3D image of a popular game. And like that guy on the internet made 500 3D images from GameCube games. And Nintendo can't make more than 8.
Yeah.
Can't make more than 8 that I can collect with friends.
Well, they said they're planning
So
on
after
an
we wrote
update,
this today,
yeah.
like we're planning an update for later this year. Like that's great. Everybody finished it the first 2 weeks, so 8.5 months later, we might get some more features. But then they were talking about features that allow me to bring you into a game, which that all went great with the Wii. I love playing with you guys in Wii Play. That was great.
Yeah,
It was great for a
lot
moment.
of fun.
What number are we on?
Number 4.
It's hot, that's why.
Number 4. Develop original eShop game.
Yes. I don't know if people have mentioned that before, but I thought this is a notion I hadn't heard enough people bring up, is that Nintendo has made no substantial contribution to its own eShop, where Microsoft has this big Summer of Arcade, blah, blah, blah.
And even
like
Sony.
And that's
stuff
bringing
in
it back to the
PSN.
price point. Bastion is how much?
The 15.
15, like the pricing on their games in there, like this is worth as much as Bastion. Do you really think so, Nintendo?
Nah.
You think so?
Well, but they still don't even have original. They don't have any 3DS original titles. They were going to have one at launch, and then Capcom canceled it.
The Mega Man
prototype version was made to launch. They intended to launch the 3DS eShop.
Which I wish this news of the price drop would have happened sooner, so Capcom wouldn't have had to been like the brunt of this anger, because this is kind of part of it, that nobody was buying the 3DS and they didn't want to continue sales on a fan-specific title where there were no console sales.
It's sad. It's
very sad.
We're way behind the game on digital distribution through the 3DS.
Yeah, exactly. Like they've never made any substantial effort.
It's all there. Isn't it right? The infrastructure, it's all there with the eShop.
I think they just thought, like, well, we won't make things, but other people will bring things and put them in our store. Like,
add credits.
Under what incentive, Nintendo? Are you going to pay for an exclusive?
Yeah.
Do you own a Pixel Junk? Like, nothing. You have nothing.
It's funny that like Nintendo had like Super Meat Boy was going to be a major game for WiiWare, and then they got courted by Microsoft, and meanwhile the Wii gave them zero support. Microsoft. But then, of course, it turned out they barely sold. They were very disappointed by the sales on the 360. They made way more money on Steam.
I imagine it's worse on Wii than it is on 360.
Oh yeah,
on this network. That's why you only see existing games show up there.
Yeah, or games that take no work at all, like my notebook.
Yes. The Mario Calculator, I believe, is a $5 item on the DSi.
That's one of the few.
You'll never guess what it did.
Yeah. Or Animal Crossing Clock.
Wow, did that really happen?
Yes. Yeah, really. Those are some of the few Nintendo originals that were on the DSiWare.
Which brings us to number 3, number 2. What are we on?
3.
Number 3.
Number 3. Improve the hardware, especially battery life.
Okay, I didn't. Do we have the other thing on there? We'll figure it out.
Yeah, number 2.
Okay, number 3. Improve the hardware, because I've heard it from Charlie specifically. Why don't you own a 3DS? I don't like those fucking colors, and I know they're coming out with more. I don't want blue, and I don't want black, and I want red.
Really?
Yeah, and like,
it's a little superficial of you.
But those colors, they're not great to choose from. Before it was like black and white. They were console colors.
Classic colors.
And I chose the blue one.
Not teal.
I chose the blue one for the same reason I chose the purple Game Boy. Is like I wanted the weird one that was representative of the system when it came out.
I picked white, the Glacier, what I think it was called.
On your 3DS or DS?
No, with GBA. We're talking about GBA colors.
No, I was talking about GameCube.
Oh.
I chose purple there.
Regal.
Well, wait, I bought a GameCube at launch. It only came in purple.
No, but by the time I bought it, like a year later, they had the black and white one.
They never had spice.
Spice.
Orange.
Yeah, and the battery life is it's not quite 1-1 in terms of charge and play. Like you charge for 5 hours, you'll get 5 hours of play, but it's almost there, and it'll get worse every time you charge it.
Really sad because like I was thinking of this when I wrote in the lead up to the 3DS coming out. I wrote about the history of like the Game Boy, and like the Game Boy's biggest edge was that it had great battery life. It beat
with 2 batteries.
With 2 batteries, that's why it beat the Game Gear and the TurboGrafx and all its challengers who looked much better, because those 8 batteries, like nobody's business. While the Game Boy, like Nintendo knew the importance of battery life, but now they put out this thing, and I guess because it's rechargeable, they think it's okay. It's okay, but yeah,
it's still weird. I play my DS on a bus and shut it, and I can open that fucker up like 4 days from now.
Yeah,
and it'll still have a charge. That like
DS has such a great charge.
If I don't have a full charge and close it and then come to work, it could die by the time I pick it up again like that day, and I'll lose all my progress, and that's bad too.
Very annoying.
It's very annoying, and like I'm trying. Damn, again, I wish Brett was here. How quickly did they come out with GBA and then GBA SP to correct?
I feel like it was over a year.
It was over a year, but it's we're getting there. We're getting close.
Hasn't even been 6 months.
It's been 6 months. In my heart.
No, it has not. Oh yeah, okay.
And my heart.
I forgot about your heart.
But it was to address something as important as being backlit, like and I think this is just as important as something like that.
Yeah. How did I ever play a Game Boy Advance with
Snake
light?
Snake light.
No, I just played next to the lamp.
Were those things you put on top?
Oh, yeah.
Like the shell with the
the awful purple shell with the swirly.
Yeah.
Number 2. Is that where it was?
Number 2 might be the one you were thinking of. Expand the Virtual Console library.
What the fuck were they thinking? That people would like, oh, this is great. Zelda, Game Boy Zelda, and Donkey Kong and Super Mario Land. Thanks. Like, your biggest sell is that people can't get these games on any other handheld platform legally. And you add none of them to your store. And they didn't even announce the future for NES or Super Nintendo until they failed and had to drop the price.
They had to announce it now to get people to hold on.
One, that their shop wasn't ready at launch.
Oh yeah.
And two, that they had their consoles, their Virtual Console wasn't ready. Even the Wii's was ready at launch, I think.
Yeah, it was. But it's really sad that like Nintendo thinks they can just take their time with releases like they did with the Wii. Like the Wii's Virtual Console,
it's pretty
basically did like 2 a week. And like
when it first started, I mean, I remember there were press releases like there'll be 3 Super Nintendo games this week, and they're all biggies. And when eventually that faded, yes,
it did. No, it took until like a couple months ago to put Chrono Trigger on the Virtual Console. Like that's how long it took them.
Well, they were selling a cartridge version.
Oh, that's right. They had to sell the DS version of it.
But that is confusing. I think that's the main reason I want a handheld, to play my old favorite games that will match perfectly to that button system. And please make that happen. And like, when they still haven't announced when they're going to make it happen.
Well, it's fine. Yeah, so they first put out like their 3 best games in like the first week of Donkey Kong Mario Land.
That's what I meant to show.
And then they follow that up with
tennis.
With tennis,
1989's tennis,
baseball, and kicks.
You wish baseball was on there because it's not.
It's not.
No, and then they followed it up with kicks. And the next
Baseball's
Thursday,
on.
is it? All right, fine. Baseball's on there. The next week, 1 kicks, and the next week after that, nothing. And the week after that, a system update. No game this week. And like, you can't think of a fucking game, even a Game Boy game.
Yeah, at least like Radar Mission is something would be on no one's like top 50 Game Boy games list, but they put that one out.
Like, people want a reason to buy shit on the 3DS. You know what I mean?
How hard is it?
Give me a reason not to like go buy one of those little handheld emulator players. You know what I mean?
Exactly, and I would love to play them efficiently, and I love their save restore points. I love those things. I just can't
I'll give you a couple dollars here, I'll give you a couple dollars there. It's just...
That's why, is this Hoopers?
But there's nothing on... The last time I went to check was just to make sure I signed up to get my free games.
Yeah.
And it was horrible and sad, and... And I was like, what kind of reviews do we got? I know we've been posting a lot of reviews, and I was like, well, we pretty much have reviews for everything on there, and it's all garbage.
In anticipation of much more to come, which hasn't come or been announced to come ever.
Yeah, they really need to step it up. Well, also the eShop is one of the most ridiculous.
I like its system of 34 blades to go through.
It's so hard to navigate, man. Like, if you think old Xbox Live was hard to navigate, like, this is way worse.
I like what Penny Arcade called it. They called it a nightmare, and then said it's actually a nightmare that an online shop would have. Like, that's.
Yeah, I think we had to combine entries or get rid of them because this was a 10 and a top 10 initially, and that they were certain things other people can't see, like Voodoo does it on PlayStation 3, the Tron Legacy trailer in 3D.
Hey, have any of you download that free video app?
No, I heard they.
Is there any reason to have it? Like,
no, I don't
which one?
think so.
It's this free video app you can download to watch promotional videos, and I was just, why would anyone want it?
If they're in 3D, I mean, I see why there's a hook, but like to this day, the 3DS came out fucking March. It's the Green Lantern trailer in 3D, and that's it. Like, I know you have access to trailers in 3D.
You know what? I do think it's neat that Netflix works on it.
Yeah, that is neat.
Have you tested it out? I mean...
I did. I showed you that picture of Human Centipede, and you got mad at me.
I didn't get mad at you.
You did, because you had just posted a news story about Netflix on the 3DS, and like, man, you couldn't take any picture like fucking normal movie? Or like, God, why'd you have to take Human Centipede? And I had to answer because it was funny. Because it was funny.
It was funny.
You thought it was funny?
Well, then put it in the article. I said put it in the article.
It was a guy taking a dump in a lady's mouth. Even though you couldn't see all that happening on screen.
Oh, so you couldn't put it in the article.
Well, I was putting it on you, and you were like, fuck,
if you want to do it, then do it.
Why didn't you use like a normal movie? God. We wouldn't have to be talking about this if you just went and did your job as a journalist.
Don't ask me to CMS things that you know is not appropriate to the site.
Yes,
you can CMS all that yourself.
I wanted us to be thrown into the bus together.
You wanted to drag me
like
down
a human
with you.
Centipede.
Yeah, well, like a human centipede.
A human incentive pede.
Yeah.
All right, that didn't work at all. That didn't work at all. I'm sorry.
A synergy.
That was should have been a fail noise. Apologies.
I did like your humane centipede.
The humane centipede.
Yeah,
it was
headline.
rather nice. We were very accommodating to one another, but attached.
Number 1, ways Nintendo can save the 3DS. Focus on the hardcore.
Yes, that seemed to be the biggest. I think it's safe to say, and I'm not even being doom and gloom, and it's not hyperbole to say that I think Nintendo's audience of soccer moms and grandparents, I think they're gone.
And kids who like to play with 12-piece puzzles.
Kids who are going to tolerate...
that to me epitomizes like their whole approach to the...
Kids who are going to tolerate, like, find what's missing in this picture and, like, 10 million Ben 10 games.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the 3DS's audience anymore. It's people like you and me who basically just want Nintendo games.
Yeah.
People who remember the good old days of Nintendo and now have a credit card that they can link to their freaking eShop.
Yeah.
Spend a couple bucks once in a while.
Yeah,
and get a really good game.
Spend some fucking money.
Yeah.
I'll buy your old games.
Well, that's why...
Buy an old game.
That's why Nintendo this fall is good for, like, they're finally getting it together with the 3DS because they've got Star Fox September, Kid Icarus.
Sad?
Wait,
Isn't that sad that their
better.
biggest release? Don't pull that campaign on me, sir.
There's two. Okay,
Nintendo 3DS. It gets better.
No, it does get better. In November is when
I was in high school playing Steel Diver and Buggy Ball.
In September, November, there's Super Mario 3D Land. Not Super Mario Land 3D,
I know.
Super Mario 3D Land, a really difficult name.
Too confusing. You were right.
Yeah, and then there's Mario Kart 7 in December, which is so crazy they're numbering it. Like they've never numbered a Mario Kart before. Yeah. But this is Mario Kart 7.
They don't even really fucking number any Mario game except the ones with the party in them.
Yeah, but this is Mario Kart 7. Instead of calling it Mario Kart 3DS, which seemed like the logical things, they called it Mario Kart DS and Mario Kart Wii.
We had predicted, I think, okay, there's a fucking hang glider in it. Mm-hmm. Mario Kart Glide, Mario Kart Soar. We were thinking of all these fucking air names, and completely fucking wrong with 7. Mario Kart 7.
Mario Kart 7.
I like it when anything is not afraid to put the number in there. Because it's sort of like taboo to put a number in there in movies and games these days.
What do you mean? Not in Japanese. Japanese don't give a fuck. They'll put a number after anything.
Right.
You said that they like something established.
Yeah.
Rather than
10-2.
Yes. 10-2. They don't shy away from that kind of confusing nonsense. It's putting 10-2 out right around 12.
Duodecim : 012.
Whatever. It'll make us easier to Google, they say, I imagine. The Mario Kart 7, it doesn't matter. What entry are you talking
Westerners
about?
Focus
they
on
like
the
their
hardcore.
colons.
It was because just talking, Brett ran in the office on his vacation briefly, and I'm like, focus on the hardcore, obviously, but it was more about that compared to iPhone, Android, and the PSP, this is the most powerful handheld on the market, hardware-wise, period.
Until the Vita.
But still. And that's what I'm sure Vita's going to come out and tell everybody we're the most powerful machine on the market, but the 3DS hasn't said that at all. It has the best analog stick of any handheld on the market. It has the best buttons of anything on the market. You can be the best handheld gaming machine in the market, and I want them to play that up. It's still a great place to play classic games, or traditional games, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, but instead the developers thought they could just make the same goofy shit they made on the DS, and it would sell the same.
They didn't bother to innovate anything really and turn stuff 3D.
But you're forgetting about the lack of a second analog stick.
I don't know if that matters all that much.
It matters.
Because, if you haven't used the old DS with the original DS with the D-pad and the stylus to be your second analog stick, it works pretty fucking well. Well, it does. It did,
but not if you want to hit other buttons.
But you can still hit the R and L buttons. You can tap to shoot.
It'll hurt your hands quite a bit.
It's not terribly comfortable.
That's actually my biggest problem with the Icarus game. That Icarus game kind of hurts my hands.
I did like the Icarus game, but I do think it's kind of sad that their biggest games this year, and I've played almost all of them already. Could really sweat?
Could be.
I just want to play Persona 4 on a PS Vita 4 years from now.
Tyler doesn't aspire to much with his handheld, so he's a really easy audience to please.
I know what I want.
Yes.
If you're looking for something hardcore on the 3DS, there's Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor Overclocked Remix coming out. Man, I figured you'd love
that. Sounds
Devil
too much
Survivor.
Like the old DS one that I gave a shot at.
It is. It's a remake.
Yeah. Yeah,
It is,
didn't like
actually.
it then. I don't know if I'd like it.
Okay. But now it's got English voiceover, so that probably is going to make you like it a lot more.
That was it. I'm going to shut up. I talk for too long. I don't even know about game deals. We'll see. But Matt's going to tell you about...
Dude, I got some game deals.
You
Wow. I'm going to tell you about burps.
Burps. Dead Island. What did you review this week?
I reviewed Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet.
And Tyler saw he played Diablo, and Henry is just here to be Hank.
Yep.
Oh, and of course I have something for you. I cannot believe I had to reveal it on the OXM podcast, but we dug into an exclusive game the rest of the world is too afraid to review.
Yeah.
So when we get back, we're going to talk way too much about, just explore some of the music from Smurfs Dance Party. You're welcome.
Who wants to party? Who wants to be happy? Where everyone's having a ball. No, not me. I do hate all of this smurfing. I hate every one of them all. What do I think I hear them? Who let the Smurfs out? Who let the Smurfs out?
Hey, this is Chris Hardwick, and you're listening to TalkRadar on GamesRadar.com. Yay, you!
Sir, put the device down and put your hands behind your head.
Whoa, but it's just my 3DS.
What? That doesn't explain why you're standing outside a preschool and peering in the window.
I'm just trying to meet new friends via 3DS Street Pass.
Street Pass?
This is Nintendo 3DS. Street Pass is our name for enhanced automatic local area connection between Nintendo 3DS devices, even when they're in sleep mode.
Oh, a Kirby hat. What does your personal greeting say?
I got candy.
Nintendo 3DS. It's a game changer.
TalkRadar, bitches.
All of a sudden, I could feel 100% evil come over me.
Whoopee! I'm going to GamesRadar.com, the official website of the internet.
Can you dig it?
God, you are adorable, Henry. Please get on that mic. TalkRadar 169 segment 2. Yes, your sneeze brought us in along with the...
Wait, this is episode what?
169. Along with the...
Wow, it's been 100 episodes since the classic TalkRadar 69 that was exactly 69 minutes long.
I wasn't there. I don't remember it. But yeah, opening
Best podcast ever.
Opening us up is the theme song, Danceable version from Smurfs Dance Party, which I had a lot of fun with.
Yeah.
This week. We won't do that. We're not going to do that right now. We're going to talk about substantial things.
Oh.
That's right, because you have played Diablo. Matt has played Incredibly Twisted Planet of Shadows. Shadowy Man of a Shadowy Planet. That was our song from last week.
Matt didn't even bother to correct you.
No, he doesn't care. He's just going to wait until it's really time to talk. He knows full well that I'm just looking for a sound effect to intro Game Deal.
You need some time. You need some air filling.
Fill some air.
You need some.
Fill some air.
I got it.
Take my advice, do as I say. Save a little money for a rainy day.
That's right. It's time to save some dough. With Games Radar and Hank Gilbert. Right? What are some game deals this week?
I don't know the game deal. I'm not paying attention this week.
I'll tell you about a fabulous game deal.
Please.
You go to GamesRadar.com right now. We are giving away beta keys for the invite-only beta to King's Bounty Legions, which...
That is incredible.
Which actually looks pretty fun.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just leave it at that. People are making faces.
It's a free beta, right?
It sounds like pirates. Is it pirate related?
King's Bounty is a really old strategy series. I think it was first published in 1990 by
Henry heard
EA.
strategy and started falling asleep.
Yeah.
That is not true. I love strategy JRPGs.
Western strategy. looked at as a precursor to my Magic series. It's those hex grids, baby.
I want to play a Western strategy.
I can't figure out. I can't figure out hex grids. It's got to just be regular square grids.
Repopularized recently by 1C's King's Bounty the Legend and King's Bounty Armored Princess.
I see Homefront for $12.99 on PS3 and 360.
Oh boy!
Oh boy! And
wait, is that on Amazon? Or
Amazon free shipping. Mortal Kombat Collector's Edition with a K. For $59.99 at Best Buy on 360 right now. Kmart has 50% off live subscriptions, which I really could have used while I was dressing up avatars for that Connect the Movie feature. And else do I see on Xbox Live this week? 50% off Mass Effect DLC. That's nice, right?
Yes.
Bunch of Halo crap. Fable 3 map packs for like 200 points. What does that make it then?
Let's see. If 400 points is $5, 200 points is $250.
$250. Bunch of Forza 3 crap. Alan Wake. It looks like it's $250. Both the Signal
episodes.
And the Wake. Yeah,
that's about what they're worth. Well, what? Matt agrees. Matt's the only other person that played through. Did you even play through the episodes, Chris? The 2 episodes?
No, I didn't. But I did love the game.
Those 2 episodes get even more ridiculous. Matt, do you remember in the second episode where you're running on a typewriter?
I had to run across the typewriter.
Really?
You never played those?
I don't know. I did. I don't remember running across a giant typewriter.
A giant typewriter.
I remember these screenshots, which were very literal to the writer.
How do I not remember that? I remember jumping across floating objects, but
selected memory.
Well, obviously.
So ends game deals, man.
Advice, do as I say. Save a little money for a rainy day. A reading rainbow.
You know, Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition is only $5.99 on Steam.
What? That's actually a really, really good game deal.
Yeah, I like playing Street Fighter on PC.
That's true. You got to map your keyboard.
I just saw Games Radar Expatriate playing it on the PC. Stupid man. You could say he's a PC gamer now.
You could say his name is Tyler Wilde.
What? I wouldn't do that.
It hurts too much to say.
I don't want to. I don't want to give him any free publicity.
Someday I'll revamp these sound effects.
Always someday.
Maybe they're like all Capcom and Mortal Kombat is a deal at Best Buy.
Dun 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 dun.
But games we did play this week. Oh man,
Maddie
and Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet. Tell me something good.
It's insane and twisted.
What? Get that a 10.
It's great. Isn't that what we mapped to an 8?
Yeah.
8's great.
It's 8 great.
8 and great.
Yeah? You sound very confident.
It's like Metroid, right?
Well, it's not like Metroid, but it has the Metroidvania 2D, map exploration stuff.
The backtrack.
It's a shooter. It's a you fly around in a UFO.
Oh,
I haven't heard that term in a while. Metroidvania.
I like that.
It's
term.
usually only reserved when talking about Castlevania DS games.
Yeah.
Or Shadow Complex. What the fuck? We are so maniacal.
But I don't know. You really got him. You got him good.
I was the one who said Jinx.
I said Blinks. Now you owe me.
Yeah, Blinks.
You wish you were Blinks so you could rewind time and then say that.
I'm a fitness, sir.
I'm sorry, Matt.
That hoe ass shit.
You should stop that hoe ass shit and let Matt talk about Insanely Twisted.
What do you want me to say?
I don't know.
Why'd you like it? Why'd you give it an 8?
Well, I mean, I could say the obvious that it looks awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But wait, I just did.
What?
No, I what I liked about it was because I really loved Pixel Junk Shooter.
Yes, me too.
And it's like that. It's a shooter puzzle game, but
Yay!
more puzzles than shooting. Pixel Junk Shooter 2 actually went, to me, too much into the shooter territory.
Mm-hmm.
It did these weird bosses that were like crazy bullet patterns that normally I wouldn't have a problem with in an actual shooter, but in Pixel Junk Shooter, it felt weird. This game does that a little bit. It has some bosses, and some of them do actually kind of shoot a lot of bullets at you, but it's still puzzly. Yeah. So the idea is that like your little UFO has all these different arms on it that you collect, and
Like
they have different build. No. So like, but Einhander is my favorite shooter ever, by the way.
All right, but there was a definitive no. It's not.
Yeah, it's not. Well, because you don't collect weapons from other enemies and stuff.
They're
so
Vulcan.
it's like Metroid in the sense that like you start off with one little tool and then you gather more and they open up areas of the map. You know, like you'll get to these areas that'll say you need this tool to get through here, and you can't because you don't have it. So
unacceptable.
And just switching out the tools is, I don't know, it's fun. You have all these, you have like a reflecting laser, you have a giant buzzsaw, you have a little claw arm, and it's just fun playing around with them.
All right. I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
Seems like this is the.
Go ahead.
This is the third game in Summer of Arcade, and they've all been getting like good, but not great scores.
They're eating it up.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's any like runaway success of arcade.
Matt doesn't do the show that much, but you, I would have said that's a very reluctant 8. You can't tell if Matt's just unexcited to talk about the game, or was it an 8 in your heart?
It's a great game.
Okay,
it's great.
I really enjoyed it.
How dare you question Matt?
You should have seen this guy's 8 fucking. My 8 for Earth Defense Force was a 10 in my heart, and like it's an 8 because people are assholes and would complain if it wasn't.
Meanwhile, I reviewed Missplosion Man, and I gave it an 8, but not soon after. I felt like that should have been a 7.
I felt the same way about Naruto Shippuden Hurricane Chronicles.
Well, you shouldn't have given that 11.
I didn't review it.
Oh, okay.
But in my heart, I want to give it
You fucking believe.
higher score. Back in the day.
I see.
Seems so long ago.
Shippuden. That's the one with the frog monster, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Giant
Knew
frogs.
it. Knew it. Giant frog.
And the hair.
But you were all. You also played Dead Island.
Yes.
Which is a game I've been trying not to say anything about.
He's going to Dead Island.
Yeah, that's right.
I went and came back.
Yeah.
What you think, Matty?
Chris never returned from Dead Island.
I won't look. I have not looked at the game because I was too involved, and I don't want to need that fucking fanboy sell out. Oh my god, you took all this money. Like, well, Future took a lot of money to make a Dead Island video.
And what is a lot of money?
What is a lot of money? So the food I ate at catering, I should have disclosed that in everything I write about Dead Island.
Well, that's why you did. That's why you didn't preview Dead Island.
I couldn't. I was in makeup the whole time. I couldn't eat anything that I couldn't eat through a straw. So I have lots of liquids during those grueling 16-hour shoot. Hi, man. Dead Island.
What was Dead Island like?
What was it like? Well, it's unique. It doesn't feel like other games that I've played. I mean,
in a good way or a bad way.
Well, unique doesn't have a good or bad.
That's why I asked you to choose
to
now.
Well,
choose.
This time. I prefer games to be unique, so that's a good thing.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, because it's first-person melee plus zombies plus really bright daylight. So, like, one thing I talked about in the preview is how, like, normally I didn't say this in the preview, but normally I'm a sucker for atmosphere, and this game doesn't do that in the sense of, like, horror games try to freak you out with the atmosphere, and this one doesn't at all. Like, there's nothing scary about the environment whatsoever. But the zombies are so dangerous that it's like I felt a constant state of anxiety playing it. Like, I could never feel comfortable or safe. Even though, so it's kind of a cool cognitive dissonance that goes on in your brain because it looks like a relaxing place, but at any given moment, and you can hear the zombies often before you see them, it's like you run around and you're always looking around nervously to make sure that, like, they're not sneaking up on you, which they can sometimes.
That's what I like about the idea. I only have for a movie comparison was the movie The Host, because I think darkness in an effects movie can be kind of it's a crutch, it's a band-aid, like, to create atmosphere where it isn't. But The Host was like this crazy Korean Godzilla movie.
I love The Host so much.
Yeah, and like in The Host, like in the beginning, it's broad daylight, and that's when the monster emerges.
The first time the monster appears, you see every part of the monster and know exactly what
and
he
something
looks
about it is so fucking unnerving, just because I'm not used to seeing something not emerge from the darkness and be clouded in ambiguous lighting.
Yeah, and the audacity of having it show up the way it did was, like, shocking. Yeah,
Is that
that's
just in the corner of your eye, like in Cloverfield.
No,
or
fuck you. It's out here in the open. You have to run from it just like when everybody's sleeping at night.
right.
And that's, I don't know. It's, when I saw the stuff of Dead Island, I kind of appreciated that in the same way. At least it's not another using night as a cloak to not animate things.
Right. Well, and a good example of that, which I actually didn't talk about in my preview, was that, like, I played it, like, one time I played it doing what they told me to do, and then I played it again from the beginning, and right when they told me to go somewhere, I just went in the opposite direction, and I wandered off into the island, and in the distance, I kept hearing this, like, electrical sound, and I wanted to find out what it was, and I went there, and there was, like, this gas station, and, like, you know, all the power lines were snapping around in this giant puddle of water. And then there was a few zombies around, and I walked in there.
It's not a good zap noise. It's just a zap.
And then totally randomly, like, this car exploded, but, like, it didn't feel scripted. It felt random. And then I found a truck, and I got in the truck, and I started driving around the island. And then, like, I came around this corner, and there was a bus blocking the road, and there were, like, 6 zombies milling around, and it was a total, like, oh shit moment. Like, because you cannot fuck with 6 zombies in this game. Like, they'll mess you up.
It's not Left 4 Dead where you can just
Not at
fuck
all.
through like a squat. Like if that many show up, you're kind of fucked.
Yeah,
you got
gotta
like a
run.
Bodor or what are your melee weapons?
There's like a million of them.
There are. Give me some examples. Your favorites.
Well, I used like a paddle for a like a boat, like an oar, and then like there was a hammer, there was a wrench, there was a pipe, there was
no guitars.
I've used. Now, this is stuff I didn't use in this demo, but, you know, I did, like, in a previous demo where they gave us all the upgrades. Like, I had a sticky bomb, which is you attach plastic explosives to a knife. So it's not sticky as in sticky. It's you throw a knife into a zombie and then it explodes because the knife sticks into them. And
sticky bomb.
There was an electric machete and...
You know what I'd like to use as a melee weapon?
Sound like Dead Rising 2.
They try to emphasize, like, when you talk to the developers about it, that, like, they have combinations of weapons, but they don't want to make it as silly as Dead Island. You know,
Dead Rising.
Dead Rising, yeah.
It's their fault.
They don't want to make it as silly as themselves. But yeah, they don't try to do that. So
you digging it? You want to see more?
Yeah, I want to see more. I mean, there's because I know there's like a bunch of like special zombies. There are boss zombies, and I've seen those before. I didn't really see them this time. So
I like it. It's a weird game, and at least a unique take on the zombies.
You were paid to say that.
I was. A lot.
I'm kidding.
A lot.
By like the 4th or 5th comment on my preview.
Oh,
just
really?
have bias in the
Does it really?
Capitals.
Well, it wasn't. Well, it wasn't just that they'd seen. Our site is covered in Dead Island.
It is
right now.
It is.
Oh,
and you can't watch a video on our site without having to see an ad for Dead Island as well.
But the funny thing is, like,
this is the end of times.
We are going there. I remember I turned that on to show you a video, and you were on the other side of the room, and you just said the truth. Having to work at Games Radar and seeing the same ad load up for every video, Henry was yelling verbatim the Dead Island ad from across the room.
Well, just when the lady in it says, "This is the end of times." Every time.
The worst of times. Yeah. Well, fine. Because Tyler got
I wanted to know if you got like a peek at the story at all, or was it just they threw you in a level and it was like gameplay?
Well, there aren't levels to speak of.
Or
it's
areas.
like a big sandbox. They started me at the very beginning of the game. Well, the interesting thing is when you're looking at the characters to pick, they actually have this like extensive backstory to the characters that the characters themselves narrate. So like the first guy that I picked, he was like a ex-football player, I think, and so he's a throwing specialist because he was like a court, so he throws weapons. But he reveals at one point that he got caught drunk driving or something.
Is he the guy drinking the beer in that clip from the trailer where there's that first-person view?
The funny thing is, I'm not
coming
sure.
out?
I watched that, and I thought maybe it was him, but it wasn't entirely clear. I think it might be him.
I thought that was the disgraced rapper.
Yeah, there's that guy, too.
I thought he was the one of the first.
He's one of the other characters.
The guy being thrown off the stage and drinking a lot.
No, that was... No. The rapper actually threw the other guy off the stage.
Okay. I forget. I've been trying to stay away from this game so much. Not just when we were writing the film, we didn't want to overlap at all. We wanted to make sure it had nothing to do with it.
Right.
I forget. I don't have to do that now. I can look into the game now.
But yeah, so I just played like the first hour of the game. So like I didn't really get much story. Yeah.
I want to know, are you going to run into the family in that kind of famous debut trailer at all? Or?
They might be some random NPCs or something.
Because they're definitely not any of the playable characters. Right?
No.
Yeah. I'm beginning to wonder if that trailer was all just like a total lie, but a great lie. Like
what if, hypothetically, speaking from experience, all of the marketing involved in the game doesn't have anything to do with it? Hypothetically. Hypothetically. What if? Do you think, where does Michael show up in the game?
I haven't seen anybody with a beard yet.
Nope.
I like to think that your film is canonical.
Yeah, no, it is. It definitely is. At least it's going to be DLC. Confirmed right here.
It will be pretty great.
I'm just kidding. Nobody at Deep Silver likes us or has been in contact with us for any reason.
Moving on.
Moving on. Diablo!
Yes.
Diablo!
Yes.
I'm really interested in hearing about Diablo because I played Torchlight this weekend, which really put me in the mood for Diablo.
Oh, baby. Well, you are in for a freaking treat. It's great.
Thank you for watching your language.
It's great. It's great. It's fudging great.
What's up with the Demon Hunter?
Demon Hunter, you know what? Actually, I was a little disappointed with like the animations for some of the Demon Hunter attacks, but the Demon Hunter had some cool like abilities, like this sort of like firing flames that turned into fiery bats.
Does he have a gun or something?
It's carries a crossbow and range weapons, so
some of that
kind of a range.
Does he fit
roguish.
into a class like a? Oh,
I would say kind of a range roguish kind of a person. Traps, I think, is sort of the Demon Hunter's forte.
So he's not like the Demon Hunter from Warcraft. That's too bad.
I'm trying to remember what the Demon. Oh no, Demon Hunter. he was melee with the.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Sadly, no.
He doesn't stab out his own eyes ritualistically to hunt demons.
No, he doesn't get his own World of Warcraft expansion either.
Right.
But I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's just really simple, great, fun, polished with that Blizzard shine. You know, you can just see it in all the visuals, how smoothly everything moves, and it seems ridiculous to talk about the improvements they've made because basically it's still like Diablo with a great level of polish and shine and revision done over it in the same sense that StarCraft 2 wasn't like reinventing the StarCraft wheel, you know, it was still basically at its core everything you loved about StarCraft. So, you know, things like they got rid of the talent tree, so, you know, you'll just be able to choose and customize your skills and respec as you kind of go throughout the game. So, you know,
I like that.
No real, like, I don't know if you built a character before in, like, Diablo 1 or 2, and then you're like, oh, well, I wish I spec'd down this tree or this path or something like that.
Yeah, no, I
haven't. You have a selection of, like, core abilities and, like, passive abilities that kind of, you know, and things like getting rid of the potions and stuff like that. You know,
no more potions?
Yeah.
You just have these orbs.
These sort of, like, health orbs drop, like, beat-em-up style as you, like...
They decided it would be faster paced that way, because you just kill guys and they drop little globs and you pick them up and it heals.
That's probably old news to a lot of people, but I didn't know that. But that's
that was like actually revealing one of the first big gameplay trailers that Blizzard released, and that's when like some people started going crazy.
Of course, they freaked out.
You know, anything different, people are going to freak out.
Yeah, what about that art style?
Henry didn't know that.
Is the art style still very colorful, like people were hating on?
Well, once again, the term painterly is about to enter into.
I see.
Painterly?
Paint. You've never heard that term before? I don't know. It seems to be like a common term that like developers and students use.
You'd be surprised
to, like,
the Diablo information I don't know.
Just painterly, how they describe that look when things look painted over, or like a oil painting or something like Sims Medieval was described as having a painterly art style.
They're using all the colors in their palette, not just red and brown.
Not just Torchlight brown?
And Torchlight's more gray, I'd say.
Sure. Which what?
Torchlight?
The game? Yeah. I was saying as the actual torch.
Oh.
Lighting brown.
Well, Torchlight is made by the ex-Diablo guys who quit after Diablo 2, so it seemed like you were...
They didn't give them anything to do for 10 years. Gotta keep busy, right?
Yeah.
I just think it's hilarious that Diablo fans complained about it being too colorful. Just because everybody complains about modern shooters being brown, and then they're like, we want this to be more brown.
Right. Back in the day when I saw my friends playing Diablo, it looked boring because it was so brown. And I'm excited about more colorful games.
It is dark. It is still dark. It is still dark and gloomy. It's like always nighttime, and then you go into the darker dungeons, and it's even darker down there.
Well, before it seemed more like old Blizzard fans who didn't like how colorful WoW was, that didn't want that happening to Diablo.
But the funny thing is that Blizzard has always been colorful. Like Warcraft 2 was freaking colorful, and like the Lost Vikings was colorful, and
even StarCraft has a pretty
it's
big
definitely
color palette.
colorful. Yeah.
Only Diablo is like a bunch of browns and reds as you keep, and just gets redder as you go down. Well, at least in the original Diablo.
Redder and better.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it's all like small things like when you go in the dungeons and there's like winding staircases going down or climbing up staircases or seeing like multiple tiers of the same. I wish I kind of saw more of that in the first Torchlight when I played it. I would love to see characters going up and down stairs.
Yeah.
It sounds so ridiculous to say it out loud, but I mean, I don't know. It all came rushing back to me, all my fond memories of Diablo.
What's the deal with the auction house?
The auction house.
It seems crazy.
Real money auction house.
Yeah.
Let's say you want to sell an item. Oh, well, here's another interesting thing. Like, they introduced a shared stash that'll link all your characters on Battle.net together.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
And as you continue playing the game, like, you can upgrade your stash and, like, increase how much it holds. So, like, back in the day, you used to have, like, mule characters that were just for transferring items between each of your other different characters. Yeah, but anyhow, let's say you want to sell an item. You pick an item you pick a piece of loot from either your character inventory or from your shared stash. And from there, you got to decide, do I want to sell this item on the in-game gold auction house, which is just for the gold you get from playing the game and killing monsters. Gold is constantly dropping. Or the real money auction house. So let's say you want to sell like some rare sword you found on the real money auction house.
Scabbard of the Whale.
Yes, Scabbard of the Whale, Play of the Whale, Pants of Healing, or what have you.
Dagger of the Narwhal?
Heart of Griswold, or...
Whale is a real one.
Yeah, Whale is a real one. Let's see.
The Scabbard of Wally World? I heard Griswold. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Wally... The Wally World chat gen. Yeah.
Caught up to Hank. Good. I'm glad somebody giggled.
Let's say you have those.
Say you have those, and say you're trying to explain this to someone with like a really high level of like listening skills. Then what you do? Hypothetically, this is just all hypothetical. This is a hypothetical trade. If you want to sell it for real money, you have a second tier of choices.
Oh goodness.
Do you want to do this? Do you want to do this through your Battle.net account, or do you want to do this with? They haven't announced who yet, but they're going to announce an unnamed third party that's going to broker transactions.
Half.com?
I'm thinking it's going to be PayPal.
That makes sense.
Makes most sense.
Yeah. But if you do it through the Blizzard your Battle.net account, then any money you get from that sale, it'll be locked to your Battle.net account. So you can only use it
use in the
You can only use it for more stuff.
It's like in-store credit.
Yeah.
Boo.
Yeah.
Do they take a cut of it then?
There are cuts. There are listing fees, and there will be fees that will be charged for any transaction depending on if the item sells or not.
That's how it works for Blizzard there.
If you think about it, it's actually similar to the way a lot of auctions work. Even the auction in World of Warcraft, like a list fee will prevent people from just throwing blah.
I was going to say eBay, like no garbage.
eBay.
It's a good way of self-policing an auction house.
So it's a pretty common practice. If you want to use the third party system, that's how you can cash out. That's how and there will be a fee for that as well, which hasn't been announced yet. They're not.
We're calling it Pay Buddy right now.
Yeah, let's call it Pay Buddy.
Pay Buddy.
Yeah.
Well, and this is all to combat the gold farmers, right?
Yes, and that's the benefit here, right?
Well, that's the benefit. If you're totally uninterested in entering the real money auction house marketplace, you can just play Diablo and enjoy it without being harassed by gold farmers.
But selling it on the marketplace, you'll probably get more money than you would gold.
Wow.
Right?
You can also sell gold for money.
You can also sell gold for money.
Which I think is
don't
hilarious.
Know, never mind. It throws a wrench in the whole thing I'm thinking about that. It just seems like if you make more money with real people bidding on it rather than cashing it in, like basically the same way you do in a lot of RPGs. Do you want this item or do you want the gold equivalent worth the signing right now?
Right.
So throwing it up for auction, no matter what it is, maybe there's someone in the universe who needs it. And if this is a structured enough system via Battle.net, maybe you make some money off it.
I think people will figure it out.
I'm just glad the gold farmers, like you were saying how annoying they were in the car, like just like they've become a nuisance in a weird way.
Just trading items in general was a nuisance in the older Diablo games. It wasn't, it was the oldie days of Battle.net. So real auction house. That's another reason why they're requiring internet connection. They want to make sure there's no cheaters, there's no scammers, and an internet connection will help them create a more secure system. Like, I don't know, did you guys ever know that duplicate item trick in the old Diablo game?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
If you dropped an item and you picked it up at the exact right moment, you would create a duplicate item. What? So you could duplicate plates of the whale or whatnot and sell it and have a bazillion pieces of gold. And
didn't they find out people that did that and then ban them or something? I thought they found out how people did that.
I don't know. I never got banned.
Oh, the admission.
Yeah, that's right.
Dun, dun, dun.
I got another one. That's right.
It's funny talking about that always online thing. That like this morning the developers of Torchlight posted and they said we support LAN in Torchlight 2 and you don't have to be online all the time and we're way better.
Nice.
They also, I remember they had a really snarky thing. They said that they'd say they'd get out Torchlight 3 before Diablo 3 came out. But you know what? Then they delayed Torchlight 2. So I'm guessing...
I'm not sure if it's good to be snarky against Diablo when your game probably wouldn't exist without it.
Well, now they're jealous that they're not making Diablo 3. I think that's really what it is.
Oh, but...
Because it's all these guys who left to make Hellgate London, which was such a good game. I didn't play it.
I loved it. That was the game about the with the colon in it, right?
Hellgate London.
Yeah,
Hellgate yeah.
That's what I thought.
Hellgate Tokyo as well. You know what I really liked about Hellgate London?
What's that?
The loot.
The loot.
Yeah.
Where's my cash register button? Too much Street Fighter here.
Well, what do you guys think about the required internet connection?
For me, my computer's always going to be online.
I think, and tell me if I'm wrong here. Personally, I imagine all Blizzard fans being constantly connected to the internet. If you have a Battle.net account, you probably have a fast internet connection. You wouldn't be playing it offline. I don't see it as an inconvenience for anybody. I could be totally wrong, but it's just, I don't know. It's just what I think about when I think about Blizzard games. I think about people connected to the internet constantly.
I just don't understand what all the hullabaloo is, I mean, if I'm, at a hotel and I don't want to pay for, internet in my room, I'll freaking figure something out, you know what I mean? I'll play Diablo when I get home. I'll play StarCraft when I get home. And I'll enjoy all the benefits that come with that internet connection.
Is there a legitimate single-player experience there? If you're not an internet connection, can you run around and do shit?
Yeah, you could.
Yeah,
you could.
I don't know. I don't know about StarCraft either.
But I mean, that's the pleasure of the friend system on Battle.net. I can see my friend playing StarCraft 2. I can tell him to stop playing StarCraft 2 and come do something fun with me, Diablo. Cross game talk.
Hey,
see what my friend is rating against in WoW, and say, hey, come play Diablo 3 with me.
I think I have to say enough. How's everybody feeling?
Good.
Are we tired?
Or are we gonna smurf?
We should. Was that you rolling it what are we doing?
Yeah.
Oh God, Hank's wrapping this up for us.
Well, no, I was trying to make a segue.
There's no good
talk.
segue into this because nobody wants to talk about Smurfs. I would rather hear about Diablo than talk about the Smurfs. For one more second. I fucking hate the Smurfs. I hate the goddamn cartoon. I hate its fans, and I hate the movie. And I hate the movie, despite having a record 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, still is arguably number one at the box office right now.
Didn't it tie with...
it did tie.
It tied with Cowboys and Aliens.
I had to look into it. I was so fucking mad. It's a photo finish. We're pretty sure Smurfs won. But it's a photo finish. It's that close because they only like to report the 100,000th decimal point in millions. Because
oh my god,
have you actually met a Smurf fan?
No, that's the thing. I've never met a Smurf fan. Have you?
Even when I was a little kid, and I
was
watch,
a big Smurf fan. I
was not.
And then when I grew up, I'm like, I am so fucking embarrassed.
No. When I was a kid, and I would watch anything if I could that remotely matched my interest, which was anything that was a cartoon. Like even then. Whenever I watched the Smurfs, I would think to myself, I am digging into the dregs right now. Like I was depressed and bored watching
what's
the
on
Smurfs.
PBS right now?
I'm a giant cartoon nerd. They were very. When you think about it in terms of that decade, there were very few cartoon phenomenons who could sustain themselves longer than 1 hour, let alone 2 hours, which is what the Smurfs grew to on Saturday morning. There was 2 hours of fucking Smurfs.
Yeah.
There was 2 hours of Smurfs. Oh, wait, let me see if I can grab this super fast. Super fast, guys. Hold on.
I remember in the last season of the Smurfs.
Like Muppet Babies had that, and He-Man had that, and almost nothing else, ever.
On the last season of the Smurfs, they created a reason for them to finally leave their planet and their village. Like there was a collection of crystals that like broke apart, and then they traveled in time. Do you remember that?
That's part of the game. Travel the world.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, they search for magic crystals and they travel
That's
over
not
the world.
traveling in time. That's traveling.
Okay, Maddie.
Well, they still travel the world.
No, it isn't. It's fucking Smurfs. The people who substituted every verb for their fucking species name. Like they weren't. It's the dumbest show of all time.
Also, in the later seasons was when they introduced Grandpa Smurf and
Sassette. Anybody?
Sassette, the second female Smurf, who's like 8 or so. She's a kid Smurf.
So you must be a fan then, Henry.
No, it's just that we had to endure so much of it.
Yeah.
I feel like I endured a lot of it. And I don't know any of this crap.
I went with did you know Smurfette was created by Gargamel to infiltrate the fucking Smurf village and take it down
Only
from the
because
inside?
someone told me that.
I told you.
No, before
I
you
thought, did you see it in Donnie Darko? That's when they mentioned it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
it happened.
That may be when I learned.
Researching this feature, I never saw pictures of like Smurfette with like haggled fucking black hair.
Yeah, in her first episode.
And Papa Smurf, and I quote, gave her plastic Smurfery. And turned her into a blonde Aryan princess, and only then she would. But for like 8 years, she was the only girl, until they added really little girls.
Sassette.
Really little girls.
But the yeah,
Can I see if this works?
I loved in Donnie Darko that they like he's just hanging around his stupid friends who are saying like, nah, man, they're all fucking her, man. That's why Papa Smurf invented Smurfette. And then, like, Donnie Darko turns around like, shut the fuck up, you morons. Gargamel invented Smurfette, but then she was convinced to join the Smurfs because of their strong and pure hearts.
And that's what confused me when talking about the Smurfs, that didn't Gargamel create, or like his beef with the Smurfs is for food?
His plan was to capture Smurfs because they could be used in a magical potion of some
It wasn't to eat
You
them,
guys
ever.
know so much about things you
It's
hate.
so fucking stupid. Because then, like, what is Gargamel's purpose here? And, we'll hear a lot about Gargamel in a couple seconds.
Yeah.
What's his purpose here? Like, well, he wants to eat them. Well, he's over that. He's moved on. Apparently, he can create Smurfette, so he can create his own food.
I thought he wanted gold. I thought that was his whole thing.
Maybe the Smurfs could be turned into gold.
I think there was something like that. But other than that, it just looks like a grown man,
He was an
all by
alchemist.
himself, tormenting rodents. Which is like the most pathetic villain, and especially like he is an awful Jew stereotype in something that's already confused as a Marxist parable filled with Aryan allegories about purifying women with blonde hair, and like, I don't know, the Smurfs are so fucking weird.
Also, I think Gargamel could never find the Smurfs' home either. Like,
No,
he can't
find
village.
it.
Yeah.
Well, because if he could, he would kick the shit out of it.
He would
They would all
destroy
be
all
done
of
I did
for.
800. I did a retrospective of 800,000 horrible Smurf games, and they all involve Smurfette being kidnapped in the beginning, and all involved you going to Gargamel's castle until the crystal thing. We shouldn't talk anymore about this. The PlayStation ones are interesting because this shit is real popular in Europe, and
The games?
Well, in general, like the Smurf
Smurfs
popularity
are
is still going on. They're not making more
they
shows.
started out as the Smurfs or whatever.
But what was cool is loading up the PlayStation games, and it was like legitimate 2D animation created specifically for the game, because there's still some importance over there. And I loaded up Smurfs Eraser. It's terrible, but like this made me laugh for like an hour. Like I walked out of the room and just laughed for an hour because they're from Europe. There's always a language selection. on like almost all Smurf games. Yeah, it's because they're released in one territory and there's like a billion languages. I selected the one I thought was appropriate.
English.
I that made me laugh for like a fucking English.
Well, that
announcement. Be happy about it, I suppose. English.
That announcer in Smurfs Racing was the most egregious
I wanted to say
perpetrator of Smurf synonym.
Which I thought about writing because like Tyler's Diablo article is written in ClickSpeak.
Yeah, that was really cool.
I had flirted with like, well, the whole article is I'm just going to use Smurfs all the time. And wow, like like the first paragraph, I'm like, no, I don't expect anybody to get through any of this anyway. Like,
no, they should. It's such a good story. Like,
but it was only there to showcase to the world because Smurfs Dance Party has been out for weeks, and I had to premiere
something no one would play
on KOXM, and I'm fucking mad about it. It should have been ours. Get
that brainy, that clumsy, got to get some blue Smurf essence now.
Who Let the Smurfs Out?
Smurf Essence.
Which is sung by Gargamel and a live-action actor dancing this around. Is it this one?
His name.
Gonna get myself a bunch of those Smurfies.
I hate it all so much.
Play a little more.
All right.
It's only a small matter of time. It'll go down as great Gargamel history. I'll rule all Smurfs with a blink of an eye. But don't let them get away. Who let the Smurfs out? Who let the Smurfs out?
Even Tyler is smiling right now. Matt looks genuinely upset.
This makes me think of a hierarchy of failed musicians, right? So like when you pick up the guitar in high school and you're like, I'm going to become a rock star, and then like when you fail, you become a music teacher, right?
And you become,
and if you fail harder, you become a studio musician, maybe a studio musician is better than a teacher. And then you fail even harder and you write commercial jingles, and then you produce Smurfs Dance Party.
I was trying to put a name to this, but I remember like we were all into Donkey Konga.
But one day someone comes to you and asks to make a parody.
There were no licensed songs in Donkey Konga. It's studio musicians, like Kids Bop-esque guys leading like.
See, when I hear that, I picture a guy sitting at a sound mixing board with a gun in his mouth,
with absolute knowledge of the soundboard. He knows what every dial does. He can play every
one
instrument.
Hand is messing with the dials, the other has the gun in his mouth. And he's like stroking the trigger.
Nobody will hire me. I guess I'm going to have. That's what's great about this game is that there's a Katy Perry song because Katy Perry's Smurfette. I had no idea. Jonathan Winters is Papa Smurf, a man who can barely speak.
Jonathan Winters played Grandpa Smurf back in the day.
But it's just a lot of parodies of popular music,
but
with
world popular music. English songs, but that are popular worldwide.
I'm Mr. Smurftastic, really fantastic. Get one up, I'm the only one. Mr. Smurftastic, really fantastic. Watch me now, I'll show you how it should be done.
Timeless. I don't think I have Smurf this way, but I definitely have
Smurf this way.
It's in the video in the article.
We like to smurf it.
Oh yeah.
Smurf it. We like to smurf it. We like to smurf it. We like to smurf it.
This is where you see the Euro roots of the series, though, because like these are annoying songs that were popular in the late '90s all over the world.
Like the Smurf macaroni.
Instead of like I don't know, they're not kids bop like that's picks
but then
American
you pointed that out
popular
in
songs.
Europe. There was already those albums.
Yeah.
They already existed, and
so they didn't even write these songs original for Smurf Party.
They're redone for this album. They'd been done before. Who could forget the Smurfette Bjork parody?
Oh my god!
With the 10-year-old song about the Smurf that's a little louder than normal.
Here comes Noisy's song. Oh no, Noisy's back again. Oh no, like
I love the Bjork original though. It's
I love that song.
And the
great
video.
music video.
Not exactly a dance song.
The Spike Jones original video.
I love the video. My favorite part of the video is where she dances with the mailbox. Like, that's my favorite part.
So I figured the best way to close out this horrible show, talking about this horrible game. It's a good show.
Yeah, this was a good one.
I'm hating myself, not anybody here. But this song Gargamel sings. Was it live action Gargamel?
Is he rapping or singing?
It's definitely singing. It's about himself. You know what? Why don't we just go into
definitely
it?
not Hank Azaria.
We'll take ourselves out with it. This is the Gargamel song from Smurfs Dance Party. Thank God you're listening to this show, because other websites don't have the balls to play this, let alone close their show with it.
Power. It's Smurfs I hate. And I'm a genius. Yes, truly great. I say, Azrael, it's time to win. Bring me a Smurf, and it will all begin. You can bid farewell to the Smurf cartel, and remember well the name of Gargamel. The name of Gargamel.
See you Friday.
Essence is all I need. Smurf essence will plant the seed of my victory. My rise to fame. My rise to power. My fearful name. You can bid farewell to the Smurf cartel, and remember well the name of Gargamel. The name of Gargamel.
Go spin that spell, brother Gargamel. Singing ding dong ditty Smurfette, ain't that pretty? Give it to the villain who's shipping and killing. Y'all remember well the name of Gargamel.
Azrael, where would you be if not for the brilliance bestowed from me? I'm a genius. He's a genius. It's truly great. Yeah, truly great. The Smurfs can't stop me. They don't stop me. Now it's too late. Yeah, way too late. You can bid farewell to the Smurf cartel, and remember well the name of Gargamel. The name of Gargamel. Gargamel. Remember the name. Remember Gargamel.
Smurf you all day long.
English.